Think prevention, live long.
I'm Dr. AJ, I'm sitting down with my friend here, Mr. Harmon. So I was telling Mr. Harmon that he made my day twice. So I'm going to ask him who he is, how long I've been seeing him, and why he's here, and what we went through last visit, and what he has gone through now, and what is he just up to in the last 2 years. So tell us what's going on.
Okay. Well, we started seeing each other because I had the myodistal lymphadenopathy, and you became my doctor because I had to be screened for surgery, and you hung on to me.
Was it a good thing?
Oh, I think so. Yes. Okay. But I have had some issues with a no regular heartbeat and whatnot, and Dr. Epp and Dr. Thacker were my colleague cardiologists from before, and it was a transition that was made at the time because you were closer, number one, and their practices were out to here, and I'm glad we did what we did. I've been very, very happy.
Oh, thank you. Now tell everybody who's watching this thing, what you went through about the smoking part last year, and where do you stand now?
I am free of cigarette smoking, and it was tough, and you definitely helped me through that. That's one of the things that impressed me more than anything else. I never knew that a physician would get behind a patient, and I mean, you were encouraging me to call you every day. I came back for special office visits just to have you ask me, keep encouraging me to stay quit, and giving me advice on things that I could try to do to get my mind off of it or whatever.
Give me a few of those examples.
Go for a walk, read, do something physical, stay out of the M&Ms, which I almost did.
Yes. Have sex. I think I told you. I said have sex.
Oh yeah.
Why would you smoke? Why would you smoke? Just have sex. I mean,
There
that's
you go.
to me is a lot better than smoking.
Yeah, you got to leave the afterglow. Leave the cigarettes and the M&Ms alone.
Exactly. I mean, God gives us all this natural thing,
Mm-hmm.
including walking,
Right.
including fruits, including vegetables. You know, there are a lot of things we can do naturally which can replace the smoking.
I think that it was, as much of anything else, smoking is, you're also stuck with the habits. It's the fact that if you're involved in a physical activity, and as soon as you're done with it, you reward yourself with a cigarette. After a meal, you reward yourself with a cigarette to curb your appetite or whatever.
Yes.
But you come up with all of these excuses, or it's just a sideline to a habit that you already have. So one of the things that I did
Yes.
was I broke those habits up.
Yes.
In
You broke the primary habits, so that way the secondary habit, which was
easier
smoking,
to do.
So you actually did favor to yourself twice. You
Right.
stop eating M&M, and then you stop eating, and then you stop smoking.
Well, it was
So you're doing two things at one time.
that, and I changed my routines. Like where I used to in the morning, I would get up and I would have a cup of coffee and a cigarette. And then I would go to work or
Yes.
whatever. And
Yes.
if I had time later on, I'd have a
Yes.
little breakfast
Yes.
or whatever.
So what did you do in the morning now?
In the morning, when I get up now, I have a little bowl of cereal or something.
Yeah.
No coffee.
Yes. Yes.
I leave the coffee for
Oh, my
later
gosh.
on in the morning.
This is the most impressive thing.
I found that when I changed the core habits,
Core habit is the right word.
then it was easier to give up, this
The
little...
subsequent secondary habits.
Exactly.
So core habit is the right word to use.
Mhm.
You change, and I think many people don't realize that. A lot of the habits we have, not just smoking, a lot of the habits, actually the root of those habits are many times something else. And many times those are other core habits. And I think once you take away, which is easy to take away, and if they are the core habits, or they're I'll call twin habits, core habits or twin habits, caffeine followed by cigarette. So they're in a way twin, they're come together. But you took
Cereal
core-
first.
Yes.
Yep.
You took the caffeine away.
Right.
So the twin of caffeine, which was smoking, had to leave
Right.
because you
I
replaced
broke it up.
caffeine. You broke up
Right.
those twins.
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought that way, to be honest with you.
And I'm telling you right now that made it much easier, because, and that's what you had to, that is what I had to do. I used to, if I was cutting logs, or if I was doing yard work or whatever, I would get everything done, and then I would stop and have a cigarette.
What do you
But
do
I
now?
now, when I'm getting close to being finished, I stop and I get a drink of water, or I'll have a beverage, and I'll rest for a few minutes, and then I'll go back and then I finish what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and it's,
That's a reward already before you even finish.
there you go.
I think it's obviously it's very individual, and everybody has to work out their own little trick. But what you just said, I think applies to, I would say, half of the population.
Mhm.
So we're going to ask everybody to find their own trick and quit smoking. Find their own trick to do some walking, do something which is going to keep you away from the hospital and eventually keep you away from me. Why would you come and see me as a patient? Why can't you just come and see me as a friend?
We'll go on the walks.
We're going to go on a walk.
Right.
Or we can go to a medical conference because now you're Dr. Harmon.
Ah, I see. Well, that's what the world needed, was another Dr. Harmon.
Yes.
When we think prevention, live long, the heart of mid-Michigan strong.